Welcome back to Ovana Media. My name is Boniface Winum, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. Now, fellow Kenyans, I really don't know what is normally wrong with people. I don't understand what is wrong with people completely. Like, sometimes somebody just changes all of a sudden. You wonder whether this is a real person, this is the person that you knew before. I've been listening to Opio today, and I was like, is this really Opio or something is wrong with him? I thought that maybe it was only John Mbadi that was affected by this issue, this thing of joining William Ruto's government. But I didn't know that once you've joined William Ruto's government, it's like you are either, I don't know whether you are brainwashed or what's going on. You know, it is so much shameful if Opio can stand on the podium and tell us Kenyans that church leaders and other people are talking negatively about William Ruto simply because Luos have joined the government.
We can continue to fight for the rights of our people, even in government. We can fight for human rights even from within government. But it cannot be a crime for Jaluo to be the Sirikal. Mano adagi. Mano kwanyaliye. So right now, because Gachagua has been impeached, now and the Luo people are finding their feet in government, now the government is bad. Saneko Sirikal ra, chokamano. Even entities like NGOs, civil society, the church, including the NCCK, is now finding its voice. This is certainly a conspiracy, and we can see through it. Mr. Asa Luo is close to the government is bad. Tokeja Luo is out of government, is on the streets, the government is good. We can't allow that. We are not fools.
How stupid is that statement? That the churches, so church should not talk about the truth. Church should not stand firm. So let me ask this question. Is Bishop Anyolo not a Luo? No, is he not a Luo? So why is it that Opio is telling us Kenyans that church leaders are against William Ruto's government simply because the Luos have joined the government? So church will keep quiet and see what is going on. You know, this issue, it has reached a point that however much these people are trying to play this card of tribalism. I also had, you watched the video that I did just the other day on Saturday about Murkomen saying that the church, these guys are talking on the same script. Because the other day, Murkomen said that church leaders, media and other people are against William Ruto simply because he is a Kalenjin. And he's not a Kikuyu, and that is why he's not being compared with Uhuru Kenyatta, nor they're being compared with Mwai Kibaki.
I find it unfair that many people, especially the church, the media, and our critics, are criticizing President William Ruto not based on the facts, on the things we are doing, but it's a criticism that is laced with tribalism. I find it unfair that President William Ruto is not being compared with President Uhuru Kenyatta, is not being compared with President Mwai Kibaki, is not even being compared with President Jomo Kenyatta. Because of the disease and mentality of tribalism, every critic of William Ruto is comparing him with Daniel Arap Moi, as if there was only one president before him. It is unfair to find fault on the president based on where he comes from or comparing with a president who came from this community before. Let's criticize him for the facts as they are. Compare President William Ruto with his predecessor the first 2 years. Compare President Ruto with President Mwai Kibaki the first 2 years. In 2003, 2004, everybody was crying that President Kibaki amemaliza uchumi, amefanya nini, amefanya. By 2007, if it was not for post-election violence, President Kibaki was being celebrated for turning around the economy. And that's why we want to say here confidently that we have confidence in President William Samoei Ruto. If we give him the necessary time and criticize him fairly, we are going to get proper results for our country.
And it's only being compared with Moi. Why? Because Moi was a Kalenjin, William Ruto is a Kalenjin. But we also have to understand, I said this in the previous video, that we have to understand why people are against William Ruto, not because he's a Kalenjin, but it is only because of the way he is leading the country. His way of governing the county is so much poor, is so bad, and is affecting a lot of people. That is why people are talking about it. It is not because maybe he's a Kalenjin, and that is why he's not being compared with his predecessor. His predecessor did all he could. Uhuru Kenyatta did what he could. He was not being blamed. There was no issue. I didn't hear anywhere that the churches rose against Uhuru Kenyatta. I didn't hear that. Maybe if there is one, you can tell me at the comment section. But now back to this one of Opio.Wandayi. Opio.Wandayi, how stupid and how is it that someone who was once an intellect can stoop so low and talk negatively about the church and say that the church is against William Ruto simply because Luos have joined the government? So which Luos have joined the government? Luos have not joined the government. We have to understand that Luos have not joined the government. Who have joined the government is Opio.Wandayi. And in fact, even John Mbadi is not a Luo. I think that is right. It is only Opio.Wandayi who is in the government. It is not like he carried all Luos from Nyanza and took them to the State House. No, only a few. You know, this issue, the alias Sanjoho, Opio.Wandayi, and John Mbadi, the card that they are playing has failed. And however much they will try to defend this rogue government, however much they will try to defend William Samoei Ruto, however much they will try to defend the bad deeds that Ruto is doing to Kenyans, they cannot cover it. It is too late. They have to understand that it is too late. This card is too late. They cannot play it up to the end. And in fact, they are also going to sink with this boat. Because there is no way that you've just joined the government 2 months. But then it is within 2 months. Now you are speaking as someone who was elected, who was in that office from the beginning. It's like right now you are the boss. It's like everything that is being said, you are the commander in chief. But Opio.Wandayi is really a disappointment. It really disappointed a lot of people. I didn't expect somebody like Opio.Wandayi to speak like this. I didn't expect Opio.Wandayi to go to rise to talk negatively about the church, saying that the church is against William Ruto's government simply because Luos have joined the government. Luos have not joined the government. Opio.Wandayi, please. I want you to understand that it is only you who is in the government. Luos are not in the government. Luos are still suffering. You can't tell us that Luos are in the government, yet there's still high cost of living. You can't tell us that Luos are in the government simply because John Mbadi is in the treasury office, and now everything is okay. Everything is not okay. In fact, everything is not okay. In fact, it is more worse than the way it was before. We have to understand that it is worse than the way it was before. So you're telling us that Luos have that the church is against the government because Luos have joined the government. That is a big lie, and you need to go back, just sit down, and look at what you said. Try to figure out if this is you that we knew before and you that we know right now. If this is John Mbadi that we knew before and the John Mbadi that we know now, if this is Joho that we knew before and the Joho that we know now, you'll realize that there is a big difference. So this issue of you telling us that the church is against William Ruto simply because Luos have joined the government. Luos have not joined the government. You have to understand that it is only you, John Mbadi, or Opio.Wandayi, you are the people that are in the government. And you went there simply because you wanted power. It is just barely 2 months. You are talking as if now you've been there for a very long time. I really don't know why sometimes people change whenever they get into power, or maybe they feel like now they're superior than others. I don't think that these guys are more superior. And this issue of tribalism, I've told you before that even Murkomen talked about it, that people are against William Ruto simply because he's a Kalenjin. People are not against William Ruto simply because he's a Kalenjin. People are against William Ruto simply because of his ways of governance. That is the problem with people. It is not that William Ruto is a Kalenjin, that's why people are against him. No, his ways of governance are making people furious. People are tired with the way he's governing the country. And people are tired simply because he's taking the country astray. The country is going into a ditch. And that is why everybody is against it. Mr. President, please style up and tell these people that are surrounding you that they're messing you up. However much right now you'll try to make things right, you cannot succeed in making things right simply because of the people that surrounds you. They make you feel like you're doing the right thing. They make you feel like you are on the right track. After all, guys, that is all I have for today. Let me also know what to think at the comment section. But just a reminder, please, if you're meeting for the first time, don't forget to take a minute, click the subscribe button. You can also like, share, drop me a comment at the comment section and tell me what you think and where you're watching this video from. Until we meet again in the next video, if it is possible, I have been your host, Boniface Owino. Bye-bye. Professor.
I can see you are lecturing.
I'm lecturing. Wandayi is so. Wandayi, I'm in I've watched one.